What's poppin', y'all? Your man James, Say What Sales Buckley. We've been giving you a lot of tips lately, and on this one, we want to talk about time blocking. So I'm going to use cold calling as an example, but this is all about how to use time blocking to get the most out of your calendar. Time management is one of the biggest keys to success. Task management, on the other hand, can be a little bit daunting. There's a difference between the two, but we know that we're going to be held accountable for activity overall. So how do we block off our calendars to make sure that we're making time for all of it while still managing to do the pipeline work, follow up, make sure that we're prospecting and talking to new people all the time? This is an important function for every seller to master. When you look at your calendar, you are always going to find gaps of time that have yet to be allocated. These are moments that you can capitalize on by blocking them off for certain things you know you're going to be held accountable for. So let's do some quick math. If you block off 2 1-hour windows a day and you average about 30 calls in an hour, that's 60 calls a day, which is 300 calls a week, which is 1,200 calls a month. Morgan J. Ingram is screaming in my brain right now, sales is math. When I'm managing my calendar, I'm usually sending out my calendar link to prospects so that they can schedule time. What this means is they're putting time on my calendar in advance. That means if I go and I look at my calendar, I can spot all of the time frames that I need to put stuff that I have to get done inside those blocks. If you're customer facing, you are probably focused on revenue more than you are anything else. What this means is you need to look ahead on your calendar and find the gaps where you're not talking to prospects. This is where you can build in task management, power hours for cold calls, and so on and so forth. Again, managing things that you're going to be held accountable for in advance and allocating the time for them on your calendar ensures that you're not going to miss the mark. One of the most important things to consider when you're going through your time blocking schedule and blocking off all this time is what's going on around you during these time periods. You never want to schedule a cold call power hour in the middle of morning chaos in your office. So you got to know the patterns of what's happening. If you're working from home and you know you've got to get your kids out the door by a certain period of time, you know that you can't put anything for power hours or cold calls or anything like that on your calendar for that window of time. All right, guys, I want to give you a few tips and strategies that you can employ right away when you're working on scheduling. Think about labeling your tasks. First and foremost, you need to know what this is the purpose. What is the purpose of this task? So if it's pipeline or if it's a marketing task or list building, make sure you're putting labels on these tasks so that you know. You can color code it if you like, but sometimes that can get a little bit hairy. Another thing to consider is buffer time. I use Chili Piper, and that allows me to put a 15-minute buffer in between my calls. This means for every person that schedules a call, I have 15 minutes before my next task starts. That allows me to reset my mind so that I come in hot for that upcoming task. Finally, you should consider the people on the other end of the task. If you're scheduling a power hour for a 7 p.m. cold calling extravaganza, chances are really good you're gonna be hitting people up during their dinner hour. My guess is it's not gonna go well when they answer the phone and you're trying to sell them something or schedule a meeting while they're having dinner with their family. If this has been helpful for you, make sure you hit that subscribe button and leave a comment for us telling us how we can help you further. We love to meet new people and help them win more deals.